Well, good morning, guys. Good to be back with you guys, hopefully, again. I just wanted to try to go over what nutrient solution I'm using hydroponically. Obviously, you see the results that I happen to be getting. I don't know if that's good results, bad results, or what. I just wanted to kind of make a video and say, hey, this is what I'm doing for my nutrient solution. And hopefully somebody can look and see and make sure I'm doing things right. Let me first start off by saying a big shout out to mhpgardener. He is he's the guy I watched his video and got this from. So if you want to actually see how to do it, go see him, because he is going to be far better explaining this, and he's the original. He's the guy that you need to see if you're looking to have to see it done correctly. This is just the way I happen to do it. I know I'm not quite exactly not an expert by any means. I'm just kind of trying to fly by the seat of my pants and try to get things going and stuff. So I've been having lots of fun. I think that this was a simple way to break into the hydroponic gardening. I know they have others that are pre-mixed and everything, but this, I feel, gives you a little bit more control. You can kind of experiment around and add a little more of this, or take a little more, take and add less of that. So far I've just tried to follow the percentages that he's given out and go from there. Now, there are a couple things for me to point out. I have this wonderful scale. The only problem is that it happens to only weigh in grams and 2 gram increments. So I tend to make up my solution, as you probably see, in 1 gallon jugs here. So from that standpoint, I know mhpgardener, he does it, and he said 5 gallon increments, I think is what he said in one or a couple of his videos. Not positive. As you guys have probably seen by now, my hydroponic garden is far smaller than his, so I haven't worked up to the 5 gallon, which I'm hoping to start mixing it at 5 gallons soon, so that hopefully I'll have a little bit more leeway on the mounts and everything. So with this scale, it's a great scale. It weighs things that are much heavier than 2 grams. It's got like 4 different things that it happens to weigh in. I think it's like ounces, pounds. That's actually, we'll just turn it on and see what it says it does. So units. So we got ounces down in the bottom right. We have, let's get that light off there. So we have ounces and pounds, we have milliliters, and then we also have grams. So those are the 4 units that this particular scale happens to measure in. I just happened to get it because it was cheap. It looked like it was a really good deal. It could weigh a whole lot of weight, or it could weigh very little. It just didn't tell me anywhere that it only did 2 gram increments, which isn't a huge issue, but at the same time, I think I need like 2.6 grams or something of this one and this one, and then like 1 point something of this one. So I think I am a little off on my levels. Oh, here it is. I wrote it down. This is the bottle I pre-mix and kind of keep it in a dry place. I have had some problems with moisture tending to get in some of the other containers I've used. This one seems to do okay. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. But I'm supposed to do 2.4 grams of master blend, 2.4 grams of calcium nitrate, and 1.2 grams of the magnesium sulfite. So I will just go over that again real quick because I just blew through that. So the fertilizer, 19.5 by 18 by 38. These it's PK, NPK, I believe is what it is. Don't remember which one is which. I know nitrogen. I I know that the first one is N, but I don't know about the P and K. Sorry, but rambling on. Alright, so master blend, and that I just happen to keep in this here. Wrote down master blend for 1838. Then I have the calcium nitrate. I believe I have spelled, and I believe I have this labeled correctly. So I have calcium nitrate 15.5/0/0. And then the last ingredients, of course, is just Epsom salt, but it does have to be the magnesium sulfate. Just the pure magnesium sulfate with no added chemicals for smells and all the other things. So I just happened to pick mine up at Walmart, the Epsom salt here. So magnesium sulfate, which MgSO4, which is just happens to be Epsom salt. I guess is the common term for it. Not sure. So I do try to label everything, trying to cross out what was in here previously so that somebody doesn't walk along and be like, oh, vitamin B2, let me take some of that. Hopefully they would notice it's in powder form, but then I guess they could just mix it up and drink it, and that would be absolutely horrible. So I try to label everything, try to do little fancy little symbols just in case somebody can't happen to read. Poison, do not drink. I believe I have poison spelled right now, Poison. Had some issues with that in the past. I was tending to spell it incorrectly. So I think I have it where I hopefully have started to spell it correctly now. It's almost a moot point because I keep these out of the reach of all family members and all pets. I keep them in a closet in the back where no one can really get a hold of them. So I generally try, as a rule of thumb, I try not to use containers that used to have or that look like containers that look like or food products. And this one actually happened to be an orange juice container here, so that one actually happens to be a drinking container, and this bottled water, old bottled water, do not drink, I've labeled, but of course I'm very uncomfortable using these containers, but this is what I have on hand, that's what I'm going to use. So it looks like I'm probably not going to have time, I guess, in this video to actually make a batch, but I will go ahead and start a new video, try to show you the way I measure and weigh things. Now, the big important thing is this is measured in weight, not volume. So when it says 2.4 grams of the master blend, 2.4 grams is the calcium nitrate, and 1.2 of this, which the way I got these numbers was I took mhpgardener's numbers that he had for the 5-gallon, which he, I guess, got off of he had to reduce it to what he uses, but I took his numbers and divided by 5, since instead of using 5-gallon buckets and mixing it 5-gallon, I mix it in 1-gallon jugs. So that's how I came up with these numbers. I'm really hoping that they are accurate, and that's what I'm looking to do. So hopefully I'm not stirring anybody wrong. Like I said, MHP. He's MHP Gardener. He's the guy that has done all of this. I'll try to find the video and put a link in it for anybody that is going to be questioning it and everything. So I'll go ahead. I'll end this video here, and I'll just try to measure out and show you guys what I do. I do have, sitting off to the left of my stove here, in case you guys didn't know that was a stove, I have my water. What I do is I fill this up every night, and I leave it until the next night, or I'll fill it up in the morning and leave it till the next morning. I try to give it 24 hours at least of sitting, and I have 2 of these huge old orange juice containers full of water. I just let them sit overnight with the lid open, or sorry, not overnight, 24 hours. I let them sit for 24 hours with the lid open. hoping to get rid of any particular chlorine that happens to be chlorine, chloride, whatever it is that they use locally here. I try my best to try to keep that as little chlorine in there as possible. I know setting up like filtration systems to get the chlorine and stuff out would be great, but that's just not something on the agenda at the moment. I know a lot of people say that you have to have an air stone in your jugs, so maybe that is the case. So maybe me setting this out for 24 hours isn't doing me any good at all. I'm not entirely positive, but this is just happens the way that I do it. I tend to be pretty independent on the way I do things, so it's not necessarily good to use me as an example. I am kind of one of those guys that just likes to kind of play around and see what happens. If it doesn't work, I then have to logically try to figure out what went wrong, and sometimes that's the hardest part is, well, I watered it, I took care of it, I kept it in the sunlight it required, and it died still. So you kind of have to say, well, was there an extra hot day? Am I growing at the wrong time of season? What's going on, essentially. So I'll go ahead and close this video for now. Thank you guys for watching. I hope my videos aren't that boring. But you guys take care, and I'll come back and mix up some nutrients for you guys. All right, talk to you later.